Now, another type of story that a producer has that they can use to help tell the story or to add their newscast is what's known as the live shot. And with the live shot, this is where you're able to take a reporter or a videographer and go out on location away from the station and to send video and audio back in real time during the newscast. So with this is a component, like I said, it's going to take away from the news. It's going to take away on a location from the newscast. It usually involves a reporter on a camera. There may or may not be like a live interview from that location. The reporter may introduce a package or a shot or some video while they're talking, or could even be some combination thereof of the different types of stories that would also be used in other parts of the newscast. Now, the pros of a live shot is it emphasizes timeliness and the immediacy of what's going on. This actually tells you that this event is happening right here, right now on wherever the location is taking place. It takes viewers to the scene of the news event as it's happening, or as it just happened a short time ago. So you can kind of see in one of the images, this person is seeing that there's a live television a live shot going on their television, and it happens to be taking place right around the corner from their office or apartment. So you can kind of see that what the reporter's doing is actually happening live on the news as is pertaining. It also has the ability to report live from the scene of news events, which is one of the strengths that television kind of has a unique medium that not many others can match. So like social media can stream live, but things like print or trying to do a tape delay program, you're not going to have the emphasis of it being live as you can with a live television newscast or a live shot. So you can actually have a reporter on the scene of an event. Either it was a planned event or it was spontaneous news, such as an accident, a tragedy, or some other event that gets the reporter the ability to go out there and to cover the event as it unfolds. Now, downsides with live shots is that it requires multiple people to pull this off, or at least it used to, a lot less than it does now. So to normally do a live shot, you'd have to have a reporter, a camera operator, and an engineer who would also take a live truck or a satellite truck out to set up all this equipment to pull off the newscast. It's gotten a little bit easier to do. The technology has gotten a little bit more streamlined and simplistic in its operation. So you don't need things like ENG trucks or SNG trucks. It also takes extensive coordination for a live shot. So you can't normally just have a reporter run out, go live, and there you go. If there's an event that's going to be planned, if this is a planned live shot as opposed to more of a last minute one, then you're going to have to coordinate your time and your location with whoever's putting on the event. So you have to make sure that you have your interview there at the right time, you have the right person, and you're ready to go. But there's also unpredictable elements that can happen in a newscast. One of them is especially Shaquille O'Neal. He has been known on many occasions to mess with a reporter while they are in the middle of a live shot. He may rub their head, he may rub their beard, but he does like to have fun with reporters. You've also got things like people coming into the live shot either intentionally to surprise the reporter or to just get on TV and wave to their friends and family. You may also have people who wander into a live shot, realize that they're on live television, and then they kind of panic and run off the screen. Weather is also going to be an interesting factor that could hamper or cause problems for a live shot. Now, traditionally, like I said, the crew for a live shot would involve a reporter, a camera operator. It may also incorporate a satellite truck. So in this case, for this event, we have like 4 reporters doing live shots pretty much right next to each other, and they're getting a shot so tight that you can't tell there's another person next to them. It's going to involve having not just a camera, but also the means to transmit the signal back. If your live shot's at night, you may also have to bring additional lighting to make sure that your talent and your reporter looks pretty good. And there's also hardware involved. So there's the SNG or the ENG. So I talked about the news van, and what this is it's a vehicle that has a microwave transmitter that's built into what's known as the mast. And when the van gets to a location that they want to broadcast back to the station, they would set up the vehicle, and then they would raise this giant mast, and they would aim the transmitter so it's pointing back to the tower on the station. And so then they could beam a signal backwards and forward between the station themselves. So a reporter could do a live shot, they could interact, ask questions. And inside the news van, there was also, in addition to the transmitting hardware, they could have an edit station. So a reporter could go shoot some videos, shoot some interviews, and edit a package right in the back of the van, and then send that back to the stations. But technology has made things a little bit easier. In many cases, the microwave and the satellite has been replaced with transmitting backpacks. There's one such service, and this is one that we use at Trojan Vision, called LiveView. And LiveView is a small box that has some cellular modem antennas, and we're able to plug a camera into this box. It then turns that signal into a digital signal, and it broadcasts through cellular data, through Wi-Fi. We can plug it into a network, and it sends it through the internet back to the station. And likewise, the station can even send audio and information back to the backpack. And so you can see that reporters are able to quickly just take a videographer, a backpack, and they're ready to go. You've got me blocking this guy, but you can kind of see that at the base of his camera, he's got a little transmitting backpack. And LiveView even has an app for their phone. So if you want, you could have a reporter grab their phone, hold it up, and shoot video. During the COVID pandemic, a lot of anchors were actually doing this when they were anchoring the news from their house. Each anchor would have just a phone with a light, and the phone was set up for LiveView, and it would send the signal from the multiple anchors back to the station, and they were able to do their live broadcast. So transmitting backpacks have been a great advantage in technology that have gotten us away from having to buy specialized vehicles, vans, trucks, cars that were able to transmit video via microwave. We're now able to spend just a couple of thousand instead of many tens of thousands for the technology. And so backpacks have really helped. So this is a live shot that one of our alumni, Chris Cato, had did when he was working in Philadelphia. There was a story about a contingency from Philadelphia going to Rome to make sure that when the Rome visited the United States that everything was ready. And during his live shot, it was basically just you can see that we've got him, we've got his camera, and then off to the side he has a LiveView backpack. So instead of needing a satellite to send a signal all the way around the world, and renting time on a satellite is very expensive, he couldn't use a microwave because he didn't have direct line to sight between him and the station back in America. So it's either going to be through the internet or through a satellite. And by having this backpack that could send the data through the internet, he was able to pull off a wonderful live shot. In addition, he was able to record video and send that back to the station. So during this live shot, you're going to see many elements of a newscast. You're going to see interviews, you're going to see VOs, you're going to see SOTs as well. So let's take a look at his live shot.
Yeah, how about this though, Rosemary, for a view from the city of brotherly love to the Eternal City. Overlooking Vatican City here, we're perched atop a terrace at the hotel where the delegation from Philadelphia is staying. In fact, they just arrived at the hotel in the past hour. I'm looking now at Mayor Nutter and several representatives of Philadelphia sitting down to breakfast right over here. We're trying to stay out of their face for a while. There will be opportunities to talk to them later today after they get their legs under them. They have a busy week ahead of them, buttoning up some final details for the World Meeting of Families in September. In fact, we just got in some new video of this this group arriving at the airport here in Rome about 2 hours ago. And you'll see the group. This is a large contingent, by the way, of Philadelphia. It's about 30 people in all, but this is them arriving at the airport. Mayor Michael Nutter being greeted by Father Donovan of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. He is the Archdiocese's attachment to the World Meeting of Families. He's on the ground here at the Vatican, involved in the planning very heavily of the World Meeting of Families. Now, this group, as I mentioned, they have a lot of ground to cover this week, and here are some of the highlights of their official itinerary. And it begins really today, this evening, with a visit to the U.S. ambassador to the Holy See. They'll have a dinner with him at his home. Then they have a news conference coming up on Tuesday announcing the performers for the Festival of Families, the big party on the Parkway to cap off the World Meeting of Families on September 26th. They also have a luncheon at the U.S. Embassy on Wednesday to promote international tourism to the Philadelphia area. That's a great opportunity for Philadelphia as a whole to really shine and market itself as a tourist destination to other parts of the world. There will be media from all.
And so, as you can see for his live shot, he had many different parts that he was able to present instead of just him talking as a single person on camera. He had video, he had graphics. One interesting note about the video was he didn't send enough of it. You may have thought for a moment that the YouTube video that you're watching had frozen, or something had happened to the playback because the video, the people walking around just kind of stopped. Well, what had happened was he was talking for about 40 seconds. He only sent 30 seconds of video. So they could have switched back to him, but I believe they had the graphic loaded up next on their switcher and they were ready to go. So that kind of caused a slight glitch in their live shot, but it was still not too bad of a shot, and especially since that they were able to do this from the other side of the world in real time. So for like the 6 o'clock news, it was sometime later in 6 in the evening for Philadelphia. It was probably 7 hours, I think 6 or 7 hours ahead of them in Rome. So it was already early morning for Chris by the time it was late evening for the station. So that was one thing about the live shot is kind of the con is you have to choreograph your time to make sure everything's right. So you do have to make sure that even if they're on the other side of the world, that they're going to be awake and ready to go when you are ready to have your live event. Likewise, if you're going to participate in a live event in China or Europe or Australia, you have to make sure that you may have to be up at 3 in the morning to carry out the live shot with them. But that's going to give you a lot of